I'm sure people have told you, or you have even used that quote that says, never judge a book by the cover. And I always tell people, you're not a cover, you're a human being. You can go to your closet, choose what to wear, choose what to say, choose how to show up in life. And that's what I'll be sharing with you today. My name is Frida Owinga, and you're watching PassionPreneur. Today, I'll be sharing with you about personal branding, which is very important for you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, because people do business with people they like. They like you or they hate you the minute you enter a place. And I have a very simple definition for what personal branding is. It may go against everything that you've learned, and that's okay. I hope you learned something new out of this. So what is personal branding? I say personal branding is what people think about you when you enter a room and what they say about you when you leave and continue to say about you. You can control that without making it very superficial. It's important that you are authentic about who you are, because people like dealing with real people. So I find a lot of times people talk so much about what you wear, the car you drive, and all that. It's fine. But I want you to start internally, okay? Live from the inside out. Number one, who are you? What is your message? Think of 3 words that describe you. The 3 words I like to describe me are number 1, thrive, fun, and candid. Those are the 3 words I like to describe me. I don't like boredom. I don't like dull people. I like energetic people. And my message is to help you thrive. So I can't show up looking sad. And I'm not a sad person. So I used to say I'm shy, I'm an introvert and all this. But when I started, defining what my message is and really looking inwards to see what has God called me to contribute to the world, I found it's thriving. And you can't thrive sad. Survivors are sad, but thrivers are happy people. They're always lit. They're always happy. So I bring that everywhere I go. But we are also candid. Why am I candid? People have referred to me as candid because I speak truths. I speak truths that are not always comfortable. So I'm not called to everyone, but I'm called to that person who's not just looking for inspiration, but is looking for transformation. So are you ready for personal branding? 4 things that I'll share with you today. Number 1, who are you? That is your message. What are your values and what are your beliefs? One of my values is excellence. And for you to be excellent, you can't have excellence and excuses. You come up with a standard and create principles and processes of how to meet that standard or supersede that standard. Otherwise, you'll always be having excuses. So one of my values is excellence. Another of my values is God-fearing. I have faith in God. Everything I do is anchored on God. That is my belief system. So what are yours? Because your values and your belief system will determine how you show up, will determine your message and how you treat people. So who are you? Be authentic and answer that question. Write all the words that come into your mind when you think about yourself. All right, I know you're going to start with a list of who you are not, and that's okay. Things like I'm shy, I'm an introvert, those are all right. It doesn't mean that if you're an introvert or an extrovert, your personal branding will be better. That is who you are. It's okay. As an introvert, what are some things that you can do to help you show up in a way that will help you connect with your target audience? Remember, you are not here for yourself. So the better you understand yourself, the better you can package yourself to connect with your target audience. Before you can connect with your target audience, you need to be very clear about who it is you are. I'm a woman, I'm a mother, I'm a business owner, and I'm here to help people thrive by helping them turn their passion into profit. That's a very simple version of who I am. So you need to know who you are. Who you are is your message. It will be made up of your values and your beliefs. Define that. I'm sure you've had people say, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. What you believe will determine what you fall for. Right now, we've been going through this turmoil of elections. A lot of people are looking at circumstances and making decisions out of circumstances. I'm looking at the Word of God. I'm making decisions based on what God is saying. I know that with God all things are possible. One of my strong beliefs is that all things are working together for my good. There's even a song about it, Intentional by Travis Green. You need to find it. I play that song anytime, everywhere, all the time. That all things are working for my good because I have an intentional God. God knows about any chaos before you know it. Stop focusing on the chaos. Focus on Him and find out why the chaos and what do you need to do. All right, back to personal branding. Number one, who are you? Define that because it will create your message. What are your values and what are your beliefs? Number two, what do you know? You have been here for a while. I hope. Maybe I'm assuming because I've been here for a pretty while, all right? So what do you know, okay? What do you know in terms of competence? That creates the solution that you're going to provide to your clients. So sometimes I find that we devalue our competence, especially if we have a competence that is not attached to a degree. I'm a professional speaker. I don't have a master's degree in speaking. I don't have a PhD in speaking. But I speak. I know I'm a professional speaker based on all the different speaking that I do. Right now you're watching me speak. I've done lots and lots of personal development courses and I'm comfortable being a speaker. I'm not a certified speaker. I don't know if there was a certified program if I'll take it. And all those things are good. But I find that we use those things as crutches. So all the time you show up, you want to show up. I'm a certified coach. I'm a certified speaker without really digging deep to find out what is the solution that you are creating. What is the solution I'm creating? I am helping people transform their lives from surviving into thriving. Whether you are in business, whatever it is, if you want to stop surviving, you want to start thriving, I'm the person to see. All you need to do is go to our website, www.passiontogrowth.co, and click on the SME Clinic. Where do you feel stuck? I'm here to help you get unstuck. So that is my message, my competence. And so what is, when we talk about what you know, it's your competence, the things you learned in school, the experience you have of things, helping people get solutions, whether you are paid for it or not. I've been in business environments for over 25 years. Whether I owned those businesses or not, I played a great part in those businesses thriving. So I have an idea of how to help businesses thrive. I've been in different geographies. I've done business with different countries, Australia, UK. I've done business with America. I've done business with Germany. So I have an idea of different geographies. So that's what I know comes out from that wealth of experience and wealth of exposure. So when we're talking about branding, and you're coming to meet Frida, those are things that I share with you. That is what I pour out to you to help you. You don't have to go to the places I've been. You don't have to make the mistakes that I've made. And the third thing you need to think about is, what are you creating? So out of all that competence and out of that, the credibility that you've created, you develop solutions. That becomes your mission. Starting Passion to Profit, what came out of people, when I relocated back from America, a lot of times people came to ask me for a job. And I was saying, I just got back into the country. Why are you asking me for a job? I could be asking you for a job. Then something occurred to me. People are going to school, but the knowledge they're acquiring cannot be translated into any kind of work. They were focused on finding a job. But you can create a job for yourself. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you turn your passion into profit. So that is my mission. In your branding, your mission is what it is that you create, what people start to know you for. People refer to me as the Passion Profit Lady because probably I've talked about it so much. Remember I said personal branding is what people think of you when you enter and what they say about you when you leave and continually say about you. And then finally, who do you know? Believe it or not, your networks matter in personal branding. Because you become like the people you hang out with. I'll tell you a quick story before I wind up. When I first came back into the country, a lot of my friends had jobs, good jobs, big fat jobs. In Kenya, if you have a nice big fat job, you have a secretary and you have a driver. Then your friend has, because and you're part of a club and you're part of a gym because your job is paying for that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's where my friends were, the people I went to school with. So when I started telling them about, starting a business and doing consulting, none of them could have it. They kept telling me, Frida, you need to have a job. I was giving them profiles of my business. They were asking me for a CV. Your networks matter. So I started, without realizing it unconsciously, I started molding myself into somebody who should look for a job. And guess what happened? I soon had a job, which I quit within 6 months because I discovered my days of working for somebody were long gone. So why do your networks matter? Your networks matter because you'll start behaving like those people. You'll start thinking like those people. And where your mind goes, your body follows. And then when you show up, you show up like somebody who's looking for work, not like somebody who has their work. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why you need to settle down and find out, who are you? What is your message? And when you think about what is your message, what are the 3 words that define you? Out of the 3 words that define you, you need to decide how are you going to show up in terms of your hair, in terms of the clothes you wear, in terms of the words you speak, in terms of the places you go, in terms of the people that you connect with. Remember I talked about networks. Your networks will determine your network. Your networks will determine how you show up. Your networks will determine how your mind thinks, because the things you say with those people, you start becoming like those people. So you need to decide, if I'm not looking for a job, I don't want to hang around people who are working. I don't care how much they're earning. If you want to start your own business, you need to find some business owners to make friends with, no matter how big your salary is, or you'll be so caught up with that salary, you won't be able to quit. So there you have it. My version of personal branding. What is personal branding? What people think of you when you show up, and what people say about you after you've left the room, and consistently say about you after you've left the room. This is the thing. Life is not fair. How you show up, you'll be judged. The good news is you can craft your brand. You can decide what your message is. You can decide how you want to be remembered. You can decide all that by looking internally. What are your values? What are your beliefs? What's your competence? What's your experience? What's your exposure? How can you package all that into your message and your mission? And finally, who are you hanging out with? Don't hang out with people that don't look like your future. Don't hang out with people who are always telling you about your past. I will tell you 3 people that you need to stop hanging out with, and we shut this down. The first person you need to stop hanging out with is the person that tells you it's no longer done. The person that tells you, we've always done it this way. And the person who tells you, it cannot be done. Those are 3 people that you need to love from a distance. I don't say hate them, I don't say cut them off, but you need to be aware if they're in your network, you need to find some other place. This is Frida Owinga, and you're watching PassionPreneur, where we build thriving businesses.